A very, very beautiful question and a difficult question to answer by people like me. Actually, these questions we must ask to Samadhista yogis only. But anyway, based on the various pravachans I have listened from my Acharya, I will try to answer. The question is very simple. How do we identify that we are progressing in spiritual path or not? I'm doing Ishwar Upasana, I'm doing Sandhya Mantra, I'm doing Agnihotra, I'm listening to pravachans, I have started reading books written by Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati ji, books written by your Acharya ji. But how do I identify whether I have started progressing in spirituality or not? A very, very interesting perspective or a very, very interesting question actually. We must all understand it's applicable for all of us because we are all in the Upasana Marg. We have not got any Samadhi yet. So it's very, very important for us to understand and identify, are we in the progress or not? See, when Vyas Muni, when he speaks about the five bhumis of the Chitta, where he speaks about Kshipt, Mood, Vikshipt, Ekagra or Niruddh bhumi, in which he speaks about when the Chitta attains the Ekagra stage, that time he has written one important statement. He has written that the klesha will be destroyed. Yastu ekagre chetasi sadbhutam artam pradyotayati kshinoti cha kleshan karma bandhanani shlatayati nirodham abhimukham karoti sa sampragyato yoga iti yakhyayate. So this is one of the indication, but this is very advanced stage. I'll explain this statement also. See what Vyas Muni says, when you are steadily progressing towards Almighty God and Samadhi, the final stage of Samadhi, you will attain the first stage of Samadhi, which is called as Sampragyata Akyayat, Sampragyata Samadhi. Sampragyat Samadhi will take you towards final stage of Samadhi, and in that state what will happen? Your kleshas will get destroyed completely, or it will go towards destruction. So this is one of the indication that we are progressing spiritually. If your rag dvesh is getting over slowly and steadily, that means earlier you have attraction towards kam, krodh, mad, lobh, ahankar, towards sensuality, worldly pleasures. Now you are not attracted anymore towards that. You are able to control even the circumstances is present. For example, I used to have the habit of smoking and drinking, and even now, even a smoker and drinker is present in front of me. He is smoking and drinking in the party where I have to unfortunately go because of the official work. Even he is drinking in front of me, eating non-veg in front of me, smoking in front of me. I am not tempted to drink or smoke or eat non-veg. If you attain this stage, then you are in a steady path of spiritual progress. Of course, we must avoid having contact with those people, but unfortunately in some circumstances, if you are forced to be in that situation, then also you are not attracted towards that. You are able to completely be calm and relaxed. You are not getting temptation from inside. Then you can understand that you are progressing in spirituality, number one. And number two, dvesh. You used to hate somebody in your life, whatever reason, because of your previous fight, your family fight, or he or she has not helped you, or they have not stood by you in your bad times. Because of various things, you have dvesh on some people, some circumstances, etc. When that happens, when that person comes in front of you, you are not feeling dvesh bhav with him or her. If you have attained this state, then you have progressed spiritually for sure. Based on your tapasya has started giving you results. क्लेश क्षीण हो जाता है. This is rag dvesh is a biggest clash. And also in life, you are working in a company, you are doing business, sudden loss happens, suddenly your mother dies. This is a very, very important. See, suddenly your mother dies, or your father dies, or your close friend dies, or whoever it is, your closest relative, relation. It can be anybody. Suddenly something happens to him or her and they die, they pass away. And you are able to understand the reality of the life, and you are able to accept that situation with patience and with boldness, without any fear. If you are able to do that, even when a big loss in money, in property, or in our relation happens, the closest relation, our mother, father, our wife, or husband, or son, or daughter, whoever it may be, some big loss happens to us, but we are not blown away with that. We are still able to continue our tapasya on a daily basis. We are able to continue our Ishwar Pranidhan, and we are able to continue our Shraddha, faith in Acharya and Almighty God, even in that situation. Then you can say that you have progressed spiritually. This is a very, very difficult situation to attain. It's not easily possible to be like undisturbed when some very close relative die, like example our mother or father. Of course, due to old age they have to anyway pass away, but we are so much attached to them, but they die suddenly. We are not expecting the death. They are not bedridden, they are normal, they are doing all their activities normally, suddenly they die. If this happens also and you are undisturbed internally, you cry for some time, because my Acharya always says that because you have not yet attained samadhi, naturally you will cry, but you are able to cry only for a few minutes, and you are able to sustain your situation internally. Then you can understand that you have progressed spiritually. These are some of the indications. These are indications of destruction of kleshas based on practical life situations. And also, you are not feeling bondage with anything. Earlier you used to have so much of bondage in the sense bharipan in your relationship, in your attachment with the various objects what you have in your house or your property. Earlier you used to have so much of bondage with them, but now you are feeling light. Although you have the same amount of love with your wife or children, with your parents, you are having everything same, but you are not feeling heaviness in that. You are able to feel free. You are able to let go of them also without any problem. Like a husband is unable to let go of his wife. He is feeling possessive for his wife. This happens in he feels possessive that wife is working, she is speaking to her manager, project manager, who is male, and husband is feeling possessive because he feels that the wife is not loving him, or wife is having more attraction towards another male. He is feeling, it's not reality. This is bandhan. This is like heaviness in the relationship. But then later on, suddenly you understand that, oh, this is her job, she is doing her job, that's it. He is able to take things as it is. He is not judging others. I'm just telling an example of wife and husband. Don't mistake me, but these are some of the practical situations which I have seen in my life, in my office environment, etc. So I'm just telling this example. It could be vice versa also. It could be in other situation also. You're not feeling possessive with the property or the relationship like before, and you are able to freely give up. Then you can say that you have attained spiritual progress. And all these things are impossible without Shraddha on Almighty God. Shraddhavan labate. Please remember this statement which I made the video yesterday. Shraddhavan labate. Only Shraddhavan will Labate means he only will attain supreme happiness. He only will be able to win over the kleshas. He only will be able to burn his karma. Burn his karma means burn his bad karmas. He only will be ever sukhi. And one more important indication is, are you still feeling sadness, sorrow, heaviness in your heart on a daily basis for whatever reason? The reason is unknown actually. If you ask a person who is in depression, in the starting phase they understand this is the reason I'm in depression, but later on, after depression grows for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, they will not even able to tell you that this is the reason for my depression. They will say it exists, that's it. I don't know what is that. It exists. What exists? A sadness, a vacuumness, udasinta. They are in dukh. They feel the dukh, but they are unable to overcome it. So if you are still feeling sadness, depression, anxiety, and Kam, Krodh, Madlov, Ahankar, then you are yet to travel a long miles. You are in the path, but please don't leave the path, because people expect immediate results. When you start following spiritual path, there will be obstacles in life. But just because we have obstacles, we should not leave the path. So these are some of the indications of growing in spiritual path. And these things can steadily happen only when we follow the truth. That truth is Vedic truth, Vedas. Vedas and books written by Acharyas, Samadhist yogis, Yoga Darshan, Sankhya Darshan, etc., and Upanishads. Based on the light of the Vedas. We should never enter into illusion that I am feeling happy. I was discussing with one person. He was telling, you are following Vedas, but I am seeing my chakras inside me. I am able to see the light inside the chakras. I can feel all the 7 chakras. He was telling me. And he said that you are following Vedas for 15-20 years. You do not have even the vision of chakras. I think I am in the right path, he was telling me. I was silent. First of all, there are no 7 chakras in the body. God says about 8 chakras. So this is an illusion. Please understand. Because of repeated speaking by some guru who is not a yogi, who is doing business for earning money, he again and again repeats something to you, and you start believing it, and your mind projects that, see, Kali Mata ka darshan ho raha hai. See, the 7 chakras are glowing. See, there is a blue light coming inside you. Based on some Upanishads, texts, in Upanishads there are some indications. They have read, that Guru has read these books, and then they have told, okay, we can try to make some business out of it. The vision of chakras is happening. Kundalini is growing up. Kundalini is coming slowly, it is waking up, and then it is slowly traveling towards your head, and you will attain supreme bliss. This kind of, they will speak these kind of things, those gurus. And the Sishyas who are following those gurus starts believing that they are progressing spiritually. The real progress is, are you able to control your indriya? The real progress is, are you able to be undisturbed in the event of the death of the closest relative? Are you able to avoid dvesha when you meet a person who you used to hate so much earlier? Are you able to control your sense when the situation arises? When somebody is not there, you can smoke. When your wife is far away, when your wife is traveling, you can go to a prostitute. I'm just telling an example, don't take me wrong, but the people do this. When your wife is not there, they seek another partner because of no lack of indri sanyam, right? But when that person comes into spiritual path, he does not feel it anymore. Then or she does not, whatever it is, he or she, then it is called a spiritual progress. Otherwise, vision of chakras, kundalini, jagran is not spiritual progress. The spiritual progress, end of the day, is Vishwani Deva Savitar Dhuritani Parasuva. We chant this mantra every day. Dhuritani Parasuva, Yadbhadran Tan Asuva. If this happens in our life, then you are spiritually progressed. Then really Almighty God has started working to help you because of your Shraddha. Otherwise, whatever vision you have, you say that when I close my eyes, I have vision of Kali Mata, I have vision of Lord Ganesha, I have vision of all the chakras, I have vision of Kundalini, but then still you are indulged in Kam, Krodh, Madlobha, Ahankar, then you are in illusion, you are in complete avidya, you are being destroyed by your so-called gurus. So spiritual progress is very, very critical, and this is the real spiritual progress. You are totally devoid of Kam, Krodh, Madlobha, Ahankar. You are able to control your senses. You are able to follow the tapasya even in the worst situation possible. Death of the closest relative, you are still doing tapasya. Of course, you are crying, you are missing probably because you still have that moha, but you know that this is moha due to my avidya, because nobody ever dies. Jivatma never dies, but still I am in moha. You understand that in that situation also, and then you try to practice it more to overcome it. Then you are spiritually progressing. And this spiritual progress is impossible without Vedic path. There is no other path which will give you this spiritual progress. All other things are illusions. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.